Hi, this is Brandon Lau with Choicehomeshawaii News, and today we're going to have our second segment on rail and real estate on Oahu. The first time we gave a general idea of what the mass transit system was and how it spans from East Kapolei to downtown Honolulu. And then we took a look at the particular station by the Cam Drive-In and Pearl Ridge Center and how the Robertson Property Group is going to redevelop that area to be a live, work, play community. Well, today we're going to take a closer look at what it means to have transit-oriented development and how that affects you. Well, unlike what most people think, transit-oriented development is not the construction of the rail system itself. It's actually maximizing the land use and potential of the area in and around that station. Now, the radius affected in transit-oriented development is roughly 1/4 to 1/2 a mile from the station. And it's meant to identify those areas that are walkable to the station. And it can be commercial, residential, industrial, or public use that's affected. The stakeholders involved in the whole planning process, of course, number one, involves the government. In particular, we're talking about the City and County of Honolulu, the Department of Planning and Permitting. And also, you have the developers and landowners. Now, although the public sector can help frame the process, it's going to require private investment to help make it work. And that's where you have the developers and the landowners. Thirdly, you have the financiers and the investors, meaning the banks and other aspects of the community willing to invest money to make these projects happen. And last but not least, you have the residents and businesses in and around those communities. Now, the planning process began back as far as 2007. Waipahu, which has 3 stations, has already completed their final plan of transit-oriented development, closely followed by East Kapolei, which is nearly finished. Aiea and Pearl City currently have their draft plan being reviewed. And also, the last ones to undergo the process are Kalihi and downtown. And today we're going to take a particular look at the downtown locations. The planning process itself can take from 12 to 18 months. The planning process, first of all, involves a consideration of the existing conditions in that area. Things like accessibility, parking, travel arrangements, retail establishments, residential areas, and all those factors are considered when understanding how to best use that area in conjunction with the transit system. Then a vision is then cast, which is a combination of community input and planning advisement. And there are preliminary alternative concepts that are put forth and are massaged and refined until you have a draft and eventually a final plan for that transit-oriented development area. All throughout the process, there is community involvement and outreach. There are 3 stations involved in the downtown area. First of all, there is the one at Iwilei, Chinatown, and then in downtown Honolulu. Each one of these stations has a certain characteristic that the planners and the community have to take into account. For example, in Iwilei, you have more of an industrial feel with a lot of older warehouses. And you do have some retail across the street with some residential units. And of course, close by, you do have public housing. Now, the Iwilei area will have the most potential for development because of the underutilized warehouse spaces and the larger parcels and availability of land. Chinatown, on the other hand, is most noted for its culture and history. You have a lot of low-rise buildings with the smaller mom-and-pop stores, and it's also the place of First Friday, which is a gathering of the arts community and a celebration of all the various retail stores in that area. There's definitely a lot of pedestrian traffic along these narrow walkways, and the parcels are a lot smaller. Downtown Honolulu is a financial and professional hub of the islands. And in this area, you do have access to ports. Of course, you do have the downtown office buildings and the lunch areas, the retail establishments. And then you have Aloha Tower, which is slated for redevelopment and improving. And they're even thinking about adding more ports and accessibility to that area. Well, as you can see, there's a lot involved in planning for transit-oriented development, and it requires your input and feedback, which has shaped the way we live in Hawaii. For more information on this topic or any other real estate, please visit our website at www.choicehomeshawaii.com or go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/chhawaii. Until next time, this is Brandon Lau with Choice Homes Hawaii News. Aloha.